Hello, my name is Emily Walker, and I've been in the BioScience program for 3 years, and I'm very excited to share with you the research I've done this year. So, okay. Now, I know most of you have probably heard of optical illusions, such as this one, where you can only see a couple of the dots at the time, even though there are 12. But what you may not know is that there are auditory illusions. Here's an example called the phantom word illusion. So, after you listen to this, I'd like you to turn to the person you're sitting next to and tell them what word you're hearing. Okay. Yes. So, now it's your turn.
Okay, well maybe we will just move on, huh? All right, we will have to move on. Do I have my phone? Yes. Okay, sorry. Let's bring it up on my phone.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Phantom word illusion. Okay, let's bring it up.
Phantom word illusion. Well, so, you might have heard some word like bueno, or, like bueno, or no way, or maybe you even heard something completely different. So, when we're talking about sound, what we're actually talking about is the frequency of the sound waves hitting the eardrum. So, as I was saying, when you're talking about sound, you're actually talking about the frequency of sound waves hitting your eardrum. So, as you remember from physics class, this is measured in hertz, but I'll give you a quick reminder. So, here is a blank 1 second time interval, and that is one sound wave, or also known as one cycle. And when one cycle occurs in a 1 second time interval, that's 1 hertz. So this is obviously 2 hertz. So humans can't hear from the 1 to 2 hertz range. We actually can't perceive sound until about 20 hertz. So, the range is from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Now, interestingly, your ears are not the only organ that use waves. Your brain also uses waves. However, in this case, the waves don't lead to sound, but they represent pulses of electricity that run through and between nerve cells in your brain. However, these are still measured in hertz. just like sound. And just as in hearing, there are many different frequencies of brain waves. But what is interesting in this case is that different brainwave frequencies correlate with the different states of mind. So, for example, when you're highly focused, your brain has more waves in the 14 to 30 hertz range, and these are called beta waves. When you're relaxed but still alert, a slower type of brainwave in the 8 to 14 hertz range increases in number. These are called alpha waves. And when you are deeply relaxed, like this monk, an even slower type of brainwave called a theta wave increases in number. Now, imagine if you're going to be in a really stressful situation. Being relaxed would be nice, right? Such as a stressful situation would be before a surgery, or maybe you have a really bad migraine. Maybe you just want to be relaxed so you can be more creative. Well, scientists have been able to induce your brain to produce more of these slower brain waves, so you can be in a more relaxed state. So let me show you how they do this. So first, they'd put headphones on you. In one ear, they'd play a sound that is, for example, 114 hertz. In the other, they'd play a different sound that's, for example, 124 hertz. When you take the difference between those two frequencies, you get 10 hertz. And in fact, 10 hertz sounds, or beats as they're called, are heard in your brain, and only your brain. So as you recall, humans can't hear sounds between 20 hertz, or below 20 hertz. So these beats are actually auditory illusions. But it's these 10 hertz beats that induce your brain to create 10 hertz brain waves, those electrical pulses. This process is called internal beat stimulation. And you can actually see this happening on a three-dimensional readout of your brain waves. So here's a picture, and on the x-axis it shows the different frequency of brain waves, and then the y-axis shows how many of those brain waves there are. So in this picture, there seems to be an even amount of the different frequency of brain waves. So, however, after administering internal beat stimulation by listening to the headphones and having it be 10 hertz beat for 6 minutes. So after 6 minutes of that 10 hertz beat, this is what your brain looks like. So there's a spike in 10 hertz frequency brain waves. So, and that correlates with a more relaxed state of mind. So I thought this was really intriguing. So I was thinking about cognitive states other than relaxation that you might want to induce. And I thought of empathy. Empathy is essential for connecting with other humans. And I read one study that showed that men who had more delta brain waves scored higher on an empathy assessment. So I wanted to see if I could use internal beat stimulation to increase empathy. So the tool I used was the Empathy Components Questionnaire. It has 27 questions, and the higher score means the more empathetic you are. It was previously validated, and it was used in previous studies. So, in the first session, the participant came in and took the empathy assessment and then left. And about a week later, they came in again, but this time I had them close their eyes and listen to a beat, an internal beat. Next, I had them take that same empathy questionnaire for a second time. So, here is some of my raw data, and you can see before the internal beat stimulation and the scores after the internal beat stimulation. So I used a statistical tool called the paired t-test, and this is used to measure the success of some sort of intervention. So in my case, that intervention would be an internal beat. and the t-value indicates whether there is a difference in the before and after groups. So if the t-value is 0, that means there's no difference. So my t-value was 5.4, so there was a difference. But the next question I needed to ask was this due to chance, or was it because of the internal beats? And to do this, we needed to find the p-value. So the p-value, as you recall from Ivana's talk, is how likely it is that those changes are due to chance. So you're hoping for a really low p-value. My p-value was 0.003. So this means there was only a 0.3% probability that these results were due to chance. Okay. And the difference between the before and after groups was really likely to the internal beats. So yay. So my data did support my hypothesis, and the internal beat stimulation appeared to influence the scores on the empathy test. However, I am aware that there were many problems in my study. In fact, there were so many I decided to compile a short little video for you all. So, although this was a pilot study, and there were a lot of problems with this study, these results are intriguing. But for my conclusion, I concluded further studies are needed to be done.